My brother stood up at Thanksgiving dinner and said he was getting everything. He didn't know I'd already changed the ending. The room went quiet except for the clink of his fork against his plate. My mother smiled proudly, already reaching for her wine. My father stared down at his food like it might disappear if he looked hard enough. And everyone else, uncles, cousins, family friends, waited for my reaction. I just smiled. What none of them knew was that this moment had been building for over a year. The company wasn't supposed to be his. It never was. My grandfather started it in a one-room office above a hardware store. No investors, no shortcuts. Just long nights, handwritten ledgers, and a belief that family meant loyalty. When he passed, he left the business to be split between my father's children. That meant my brother and me. But my brother always believed louder meant smarter. He showed up to meetings late, talked over senior managers, and called it confidence. When clients complained, my mother brushed it off. He's just passionate, she'd say. Passionate enough to almost drive the company into the ground. The first warning sign came when I noticed invoices missing, not unpaid, deleted. I checked the backups, then the emails, then the vendor logs. Someone was moving money. I didn't confront him. I didn't tell my parents. I didn't even tell my lawyer. I waited. Over the next months, I quietly stepped into the shadows of the business. I listened more than I spoke. I helped managers clean up processes. I earned their trust without announcing it. When my brother skipped meetings, I attended. When he ignored emails, I replied. Then I found it. A shell account, registered under a friend's name. Thousands at first, then hundreds of thousands. Payments disguised as consulting fees. The kind of theft that looks invisible, until it isn't. That's when I made my move. I didn't expose him right away. Instead, I called an emergency board meeting and requested temporary authority to stabilize operations. I brought spreadsheets, forecasts, calm logic. The board approved it unanimously. My brother laughed when he heard. Good luck playing CEO, he said, but luck had nothing to do with it. Over the next 6 months, I rebuilt everything he'd neglected. Clients returned. Revenue stabilized. Profits climbed. The board stopped calling him and started calling me, and all the while, I gathered evidence. Every transfer, every email, every signature. So when Thanksgiving arrived, and my brother stood up with that smug smile, announcing he was taking full control of the company, I let him finish. Then I stood up too. I think there's something everyone should see, I said, setting my phone on the table. One tap. The TV lit up with documents, bank records, timelines. My mother's smile vanished. My brother tried to speak, but no sound came out. I explained everything calmly. No anger, no drama, just facts. The board's decision, the investigation, the charges that could be filed, though I'd chosen not to for the company's sake. The silence afterward was heavier than any argument. The next morning, my brother resigned, officially for personal reasons, unofficially because he had no choice. Today, the company is thriving again. Employees feel safe, clients trust us, and my grandfather's name still means something. My brother doesn't talk to me anymore. My mother says I went too far, but sometimes protecting what matters means letting people face the consequences they earned. I took a sip of wine that night and looked around the table. They thought the story was his. I made sure it ended as mine.